2021 and some things have changed, both in what's available on the market, my play style, what I'm capable of doing. So let's get to it. First up are my putters. I have switched this year to putting with bullets. I've got a lightweight one in the regular Royal plastic and a heavyweight one in the Royal Soft. It's beaten in to be a little more than I want, so actually today I just picked up a heavy one in regular Royal. But I really like it. It doesn't dump quite as fast as what I was using before, and it penetrates a little more than what I was using before for outside the circle. And these lightweight ones are insanely glidey. I have made more circle 2 putts with this than I have with anything else. So bullets for my putting putters. I'd probably throw one too if I had a premium one, but those haven't been released yet, and they're super, super rare. And then for my approach putters, it's a little crazy right now. Still rocking my 4-time zone. You know how these fly. But super stable, super dependable. I can really rip on it real nice and torque resistant. And then I have a Jawbreaker zone that I like for those touchy up shots, because the Jawbreaker plastic is a little grippier. So that's been my go-to. I'll also putt with this if it's really, really windy. As long as it's not a right to left wind, then I'm kind of just hosed with my putting style. But for almost any other wind situation, I like it because it's board flat. I can jam it in there and capitalize, usually. And then similar to that, I've been messing with the Royal Prophet from Mint Discs. It's kind of interchangeable with the zone for me, but typically I will throw this more than using it for like little touchy shots. And then heard a lot of good things about them, so I got a Glow Berg. This is a funky disc. One, it glows like nothing else. It almost looks radioactive. But two, also, like, when it's done, it's done. It only has a 1 glide, so on some of those holes where I'm like between discs and I don't want to overthrow it, I'll throw a Berg, because I'm probably not going to overthrow it with a Berg. And it's good for forehands too. It's pretty, because of that glideless, it's pretty torque resistant as well. So I've been really, really enjoying that. And I've also been messing with the Maiden from Westside. Haven't quite got a hold of it yet. I haven't spent enough time learning it, but it's in the bag. Seeing how I like it. So far it's been pretty good, but I haven't fallen in love with it yet. Up next are my mids. We'll go from least stable to most stable. I've got a Soul. Got the Paige Pierce edition. This is almost like an understable utility disc for me. So like little scramble forehands, I don't have to put a lot of power on it, and it'll fly really well. Because if I rip on it, it will hyzer flip up to flat, it'll drag right, and then it has a late turn. So it's definitely not a power up disc for sure, but it's been a great utility disc for me for like little weak touch shots, especially now that I'm playing with my offhand, because my bum elbow, my left forehand doesn't have a lot of power, so this is a really good disc for that, because I can just go soft. I don't have to try and power up on it, and I'll get some good glide out of it. Next up in stability is Tour Series Meteor from last year. This is my go-to for any like hyzer flip to flat or flat to dragging out to the right. Really dependable, lots of glide. Matches my hand pretty good. It doesn't have too much of a concave edge. I like that. Buzz SS as well. This one is actually flippier than my Meteor now. Just I used it so much, it's gotten pretty beat in. I'm probably due to cycle a new one in. But I really like that a lot, and it'll kind of dump more than that Meteor will, but not as much as the Soul. So Buzz SS, as well as 2 buzzes. This is just an old Z one that I bought from a buddy, and not hydro dipped. Anyways, I dyed it. And then a little more stable 2020 Tour Series Buzz. And then kind of right between all those, the Mustang. I haven't been throwing the Eternal plastic, which is their, like, you know, clear plastic. But the Sublime one, it will fade, or it'll turn. It's not coming back, though, typically for me. So for, especially now that I'm playing lefty, I really like it for like forced turnovers, because I can put it on the Anheuser and it'll just hold it gently all the way to the ground. If I actually nail my wing angles, it holds it. Great mid-range. I've been enjoying getting to know that one again. Left-handed, it was really dependable right-handed for me. And then similar to my zones, but touch up in speed, bobcats. I've got an Apex bobcat that I can just rip on and know it's always going to come back. And then for those touchier ones, I've got a Royal. Am I throwing the soft? No, just the regular Royal. Royal soft. I think I got a pretty gray one, so it's on the wall. But yeah, regular Royal, and I've been really enjoying that for sticking my upshots. And those bobcats have tons of stability, but sometimes in the wind, they won't hook up quite as fast as I need, so I bag a Justice. Because no matter what, I know that it is going to come back and fade down to the ground. So Justice is my dependable one. I don't throw it a whole lot. I like the bobcat much more for that stable or slightly overstable distance. This is just going to be stable if there's tons of wind. And that's my mid-ranges. Up next is my like utility fairway hybrid driver slot. So everything between like a 6 and a 9 speed. Right now I'm rocking a Color Glow Firebird for my utility disc. I've been a huge fan of the 150 gram flicks. Unfortunately, I lost one at the Beast in Waco and wasn't able to recover it. Even though I got in there with waders, I went back the next weekend with my stand-up paddleboard. Wasn't able to dig it out. But this has been a great substitution for me. I see why everyone loves them. Color Glow Firebird. It's got the Louisville Disc Golf Club stamp on there. Been enjoying that a lot. Lots of people know and love it. Freetail. This one has been kind of touchy for me left-handed because I don't have a lot of finesse or angle control yet. That's my roller disc for sure. Or if I power down to like 60%, I can get a little pop-up and get some flight out of it. But great roller disc. Freetail, super beat in. I probably need to cycle in a Sublime or something more stable, but I've been throwing that. Third run alpha. It's getting pretty chewed up, so if I mess up, it will just hold Annie pretty much all the way. It doesn't turn and burn, but it'll hold Annie. But if I throw it nice and flat, it is like a tick less stable than a Thunderbird for me, where I can just get it to go dead flat and then a gentle fade back down, really controllable. I believe it's an 8-speed, but yeah. Third run, a lot of dome, almost pop top, but this thing's got a lot of abuse, so it's not as stable as it used to be. Up next, Color Glow FD, Night Strike 3. As soon as these came out, I switched it instead of the 2 because I liked the control a little less overstability than the Night Strike 2 had. So this one I'm gonna like flip it up to flat and it'll just bomb. Even got it signed by Nate. Yeah, this is one of my go-tos. It's normally just in my glow bag, but for tournaments, I'll take it out of my glow bag and put it in my day bag because I have a lot of experience with this disc. I rely on it a lot. And next up in stability, I have an Esp Undertaker. This was in my bag last year, I believe. I like it a lot. It kind of flies how the Alpha used to fly, where I can just, you know, if I throw it flat, it'll hold flat. If I put it on a hyzer, it'll hold it on a hyzer. If I put it on Annie, it'll hold Annie for a little bit, but nice gentle finish. Don't have to throw it too hard to get it to perform, so I like that. And then lastly, in this section, Color Glow Thunderbird. I just got this at the beginning of the year, and throwing left-handed, I have a lot of, like I said, I have a lot of wing angle issues that I'm working through, but I tend to yank things over a little bit, so I've really enjoyed the stability of this because it's been forgiving of my bad form, and I can throw some nice flex shots with it, and it's max weight, which helps aid in my bad form, or helps aid in forgiving my bad form just a little bit more. So that is my utility fairway driver slot. All right, now for my 10 speeds and up. First up, I've got a Esp Avenger Ss. This one is well seasoned. It is a roller disc now. Towards the end of last year, I was getting really awesome, like hyzer flip, drag it out right, but playing lefty, I don't have that touch with it. So I've been messing with it again now that I've been playing for a few months, trying to get execute some touch with this disc. But I still like it a lot. I know it well. I just gotta get it just right, you know. And then I have a low 170s Onyx. This hasn't changed, but it has gotten less stable for sure. So it's just a tick longer than that Thunderbird. I like it a lot. It's worked really well for me left-handed because it has some high speed stability, but not a ton of low speed stability. So I'm able to manipulate it and generally keep it in the fairways and get some pretty good distance. But my go-to, my baby, I've got a stack of Longhorns, and I actually just added another Eternal one today. Haven't even thrown it yet, but it's going in the bag for sure. Got a lightweight Apex one. This is my max distance as long as there isn't wind or anything. I've heard it, I don't throw Wraiths, but I've heard it described that it flies like a Wraith, but it feels like a Thunderbird because it has a slightly smaller rim. The Disc Golf podcast, in their flight review or their deer review of this, they get into all that with the wing size and the feel and all that. But Longhorn, I got the Apex one. I have a heavy Sublime one, which I probably should have done it the other way because this is less stable. So actually it flies kind of similar to my lightweight Apex one, but I've got that in the bag as well. And then I have a lightweight Eternal one, which is their most stable plastic, but because of my wrist rolling and yanking it over, it hasn't really performed that way for me in the couple of throws I've had with it. So, excuse me. So I got myself like a sweet, swirly, metal flake, heavyweight one that I just found. I'm pretty stoked on that. And then I have a glow one as well that is mostly just in my bag for night rounds, but I'm so confident in the Longhorn that for day rounds or tournament rounds, I'll pull it out of the night bag into the day bag just for that, because I really, really rely on that disc. And then right now, my max distance, I've got a Hades. Again, kind of touchy, so sometimes I just turn and burn it, but if I get it just right, some really, really good distance. Like if you watch my Persimmon Ridge Longs video, this is what I teed off on that 1,000 and some odd foot par 5. I threw it again, and then I had the upshot with a Meteor. Anyways, this is a really good distance for me. And then this was my workhorse right-handed, but left-handed, this is the most stable disc I have. This is my windy distance driver. I can't get max flight out of this at all right now, but in a headwind, it'll do. I can, you know, show it to the wind and let the wind help me out, and I can count on it then. Otherwise, I don't have the arm for it right now, left-handed. And you may be looking at all these discs and thinking, how the heck did this fit in your bag? Well, I'm still rocking the Transit cart. It holds a ton of discs in the bottom, and I'm using a modified sling bag as my putter pouch to fit 6 putters in there. So that is how I do it. So thanks for watching my 2021 in the bag video. If you have any questions on these discs, or you want me to elaborate more on how they work, for me, as an AM lefty, playing with my offhand, I'm only like an intermediate player at best right now. But I'm learning, and that is where all the fun is at anyways. So yeah, if you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. See you out there.